CarolJo's is an online jewelry and accessory business for women where we will come together as a community for creating and just having fun with jewelry. We do lots of different things. We do tutorials, which is what we have tonight, and that is where I'm going to show you step by step how to make different earrings. I'll show you some examples in a moment. We also do chat time. Chat time is where you get to ask any type of question about jewelry making or running your small business. We also have Makers Meetup. We'll have one of those tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. Or not 2 a.m., 2 p.m. Holy, I'm not going to be up in the middle of the night. I will be sleeping, just so you know. But we'll be on at 2 p.m. And that is where you can come live and show us what you have been working on. And then, sorry, my hair is driving me nuts today. And we also will be opening a box during that live too. Hi, Meg. We will also do live events. The live events are where you get to claim items that we have up for our options to add to your bead collection. And we go over how that process is in the live. So today I said we are going to do a tutorial. I'm going to show you it. If you could, please remember to share out the live. You can add it to your story as one way to share. Another way is if you go in and repost it. And you can also send it to someone that you think would find this interesting, a fun time, that type of thing. I'm just sharing away here on both of my accounts that I'm on. I'm on my backup account of TikTok. Sorry, Tube, I do not have a backup account. So when we go down, I won't be able to see comments. Hi, Maria. Hi, Gladys. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. I think I got everybody. But today is tutorial. We're going to learn how to make a floating earring. That's what I'm calling these. This is where you will put a bead on a piece of wire and then dangle it down with chain. You can have very delicate, hi there, Michelle. Hi, Kay. And Michelle went live today. Woohoo. Congratulations, Michelle. Sorry I couldn't be in there. We were like in the process of getting stuff for supper and making supper. And I did make supper tonight. But we will use wire to float these with any type of chain you want to use. We also have jump rings here at the top. And then our earring. You can do a post. You could do the fish hook, which is what I'm using today is the fish hook. You could do lever back. You can use whatever you want for an earring. Hi, Trisha. You can use whatever you want for your bead. You can have more than one bead if you would like. Any type of chain. So it really comes down to, you could possibly use things that you have just a couple beads and some chain just laying around and create something with some little bit of leftovers. I'm going to show you a different pair that I made, and you'll see the differences on the size of the bead. So these are still a glass bead, but this one is a lot longer, so it moves the chain out. So depending on what style you're looking for, you can do any size bead, okay? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everything that you just sent to me. Thanks, and thanks for sharing that out. So things that you're going to need for tools. You will need a round nose plier. You'll need two chain nose pliers. Yep, if you have two of your beads and the bead soup in there, or if you want to do a contrasting and have two different ones in each ear, you can do that. I can't do the asymmetrical thing though. That's not me, but yes, we have a flush cutter. Hi, Christina. Those are the tools that you're going to need today. What you're going to need is, depending on the technique that we're going to use, I have 22 gauge wire. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. And it's going to be backwards because I'm not mirrored. And you can do whatever color of wire you want. Another technique that I'm going to show you to do this is 28 gauge. So depending on the wire that you have on hand, depends on which one you've got. You will need jump rings. And it's not like you have to use a specific size. I am using 4mm size jump rings today. And Kinzara, okay, hello. And then your whatever you want to use for the earring. You can use the earring post with the loops like we had on Saturday. I think it was Saturday. You can do the fish hooks like we got there. You can do the lever backs that we had. So whatever you want. This is up to you. I just want to teach you the technique and give you a couple of different ways that you can use these techniques to make the same style of earring, but just give it a little bit different look type scenario. All right. I am going to point everybody down. When I point you down, I can't see comments. So it's not that I'm trying to ignore you. It's just that I can't see. All right. So here we go. Hi, Angela. And you will also need chain and beads. I forgot to say that. Okay. I am going to use some black beads here. I haven't picked out any beads. I'm just going to grab some and go today. Oh boy, what kind do I want? The only thing I'm going to say is you might want to watch how heavy the beads are so that they don't pull on your ear. Otherwise, you can do any. Well, one came out already. We're going to use these. We'll see how these look. Well, where did you come out of there? I'm trying to figure out where I need to put him back in here, and he's not going in. There we go. Nope, he's not there. Where did I take this one out of? Oh, I see right here there. There we go. Got it back in there. All right. We're going to use the 22 gauge silver wire for these. You could use gold if you want, but I prefer silver, so we're going to use silver. The wire, you just need to cut about that much. Let me measure it so I can give you an about how much. It's about 4 inches. I'm a little bit probably longer than I need, but I'd rather be long than short. Okay. First step, we are going to take our round nose pliers. We're going to put a mark on our pliers. I'm going to do it down towards the end, like that. Reason being that I'm marking my pliers is so that my loops are the same each and every time. So I'm going to take my silver wire, 22 gauge, go down just a little bit, like an inch, inch and a half, line it up with my wire or my line on my pliers, 90 degrees away. So if you look at that, you'll see that it's 90 degrees. I'm going to reposition my tool 45 degrees within that 90 degree angle. Bring this around to the top, towards yourself, go down. You'll get to a point where it's going to look like this, where they're both facing down. Go ahead, release this and bring this to the top. And we're creating a 90 degree angle. Grab either your round nose pliers, your chain nose pliers, hold on to that, and grab your other chain nose plier. Wrap that short piece around this longer piece of wire a couple of times, and then cut off the remaining. Always make sure you get rid of your excess so you don't get an owie later. Put your bead on. If the bead is going to go down and cover up part of your hole, you will want to add on some sort of a spacer bead to put it so it doesn't go down. Then we're going to line up our wire with our line 90 degrees away. Reposition this 45 degrees in that angle. And then we're going to go that way, and then we're going to bring this to the top and finish that up. Except for he got a little twisty. There we go. Grab a hold of it with either the round nose or your chain nose with the loop part. Grab here, wrap this around twice, and then cut off the excess. Maybe I can get in there. There we go. Now, you're going to want to check a couple of things. This part of the wire is still sticking up. I just take my chain nose and push it down. so that he's not sticking out. You can't see him sticking out. There we go. And then we're going to check, are our loops on the bead going the same way? They are not. So I'm going to grab one with one plier, grab the other side with another plier, and just make our pliers line up straight. That will cause these to be straight in the same way. So we got one of our beads done. We're going to repeat those same steps on our second piece of wire, about an inch, inch and a half down or so. Take and bend, line it up on our line on our pliers, then bend 90 degrees away. Reposition your pliers so it's 45 degrees in that 90-degree angle. Make sure this is still on the line. And then bring it around the top until it's about straight down. Reposition your tool so that the round part is now on top. Create a 90-degree angle. You see where we got that 90 degrees here? Grab a hold of this with either the chain nose pliers or the round nose pliers. Grab the end of the short piece wire, bring it around twice. Do not overlap each other. You're going to stack them one on top of the other. Hold on, I'm almost done here. Come back. I did get it. All right, we're going to cut that off. We're going to put our bead on. Repeat that process again, where we're going to put our bead, our pliers line up to the top of the bead and find our line, go 90 degrees away, reposition so it's 45 degrees within that angle, bring it around the top. Once it's down, reposition your tool and bring that round part up to the top. Get our 90-degree angle, hold the loop, grab the end with the pliers, and wrap this around twice. Cut off the excess. Check to make sure your wires are not poking, and then check to see if your two loops are the same way. They're very close, but not completely. So I'm going to grab one with one hand, grab the other with the other hand, and we are going to twist it so that they are both facing the same way, and our pliers should be parallel to each other. And when that happens, you drop the bead. I dropped the bead again. This is what you get. So there's our earring, our bead for our earrings. Next, we're going to get some silver chain. I went and I thought I would let you know. Hold on, I'm going to decline. I don't go live when I'm doing this with others. All right, here we go. We are going to go into the box of chain. So if you wanted, as long as you could get this on there, you could use very small chain. You could use larger chain if that's what you wanted. You can hold chain up and go, is that one's going to overpower it, so I don't want that one. How about this one? He's too much. I think I want this one. Let me see if he is a chain that is links or if he's soldered shut. Because if he's soldered shut, I can't use it. I should have added it before I closed up my ends, but that's okay. We'll see here. Yep, that was open. I'm going to get rid of that link because I just distorted him. You get to choose how long. I'm going to show you what I mean by how long. How many links for how long each one of these sides are going to be. This one is 8 for that link, and this one has 7. But they're different size links, so they're going to hang differently. All right. I'm going to open up the bottom chain here. I'm not going to open it. I'm going to count. There's two. How many do I want? I don't know that I want that many. How about 2 here? Yep, somewhere in there. Okay, so here we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 links. We're going to open up that link. How you do that is you put a plier on each side of the opening of the link. You can feel it with your fingertip. Go one backwards, one forwards. Then put the earring loop on there and then close it by going the opposite way you did to open it. Oh, darn it. I dropped it. Now let's see if we got our link here that's open, or did I drop the open link somewhere? Nope, he's right here. Is he open? Nope, I flew him over here. I found him. Well, hello. There we go. I got it. That's on there. And then get our chain back on there. There we go. And now we're going to go back and forth here. I'm grabbing my glasses. See if that'll help me tonight. Well, this little chain might be what my problem is, but I really like it. So will you please be kind to me, little chain? Okay, no, I can't get a hold of that one. Okay, I'm getting frustrated with that chain, so I'm going to get a different one. Let's see what I got. That's going to be too big. Yep. What do I have in this one? It's too big. Yep, that's too big. What do I have over here? Let me try this one. We're going to try this one. I'm not liking that one either. Ooh, I got it. Okay, we're going with black. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know I don't have any black wire, but I'm going to have to go get black jump rings and black earrings wires. So I'm going to do this step and then I'm going to get the rest of what I need. Okay, so there is 8. And it's going to go up this way. We're going to grab this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay. Got the chain on one earring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I am marring that one up. I'm going to get a different link because I'm marring that one up. There we go. Put that on. Put this on. Now we're going to close this up. Why do I keep losing it tonight? My goodness. It's on the bottom. It really isn't this difficult, everyone. I am just having a time tonight. There we go. Open that up, get that on. Now we're going to close it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll get our open link on. There we go. Okay, now we got our chain on. Holy, that was a struggle bus, but we got through the struggle bus. Let me go get some jump rings and earrings that are in the black. So hold on a moment, everybody. Hit those likes, everyone. I have never used these jump rings. We gotta cut them open. And these are 5.5 millimeter jump rings. We got 2 of the earrings. Okay. We're going to open up the jump ring. You don't have to use a 5.5. It was the first black one that I found. You could do smaller if you want. You can do whatever size jump ring. I'm not going to say it has to be this size. Find one side of the chain for the top. Then bring the other one over and put it onto the jump ring also. Try to keep it on. I lost it when I went to dunk down to get it. There we go. We've got both of those on. Now we're going to take one of our earrings and we're just going to put that on there too at the same time and then close up that jump ring. There we go. One earring is finally done. There we are. We're going to do the other one. We're going to grab our jump ring. Find where the hole or the opening of the jump ring is at. Right there. There it is, right there. Open that up, one on each side. One link of the chain in, another link of the chain. Why do I keep dropping it on the first try here? I have no idea, but hey, that's the way our night is going to be. Got both chains on there. Now I'm going to grab our earring wire and we're going to put that on. There we go. I'm going to bring everybody up so that you guys can see the earrings here. And I got my glasses on. Thank you to everybody. I do not. There. They have a coating on them for the AB. So you'll see that. Oh, hold on. We need you. There we go. I didn't have them sitting at the same spot. Let's flip him around. There we go. Flip you. There we go. There's our earrings, everybody. They're really not that hard. I was just struggle bussing, okay? Seriously. Oh, my Lord. All right. Okay. All right. Yep. Ashley said some days are like that over on the other side. Yes. Yep, I'm on tonight. We are on. So that's our first one that we have for tonight. I also want to show you using the technique that Stacy has had out here. And that is where you take like a 28 gauge wire and you create that floating effect. And the reason why you want to use a smaller gauge wire is because when you go through that bead, you're going to put the wire through, add it to your chain, and go back through this way. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to put that wire that's longer through the chain and go back, and then you pull it, and you don't even see any circles. It's truly a floating. And because you're going through that 4 times with the wire, you want a smaller gauge wire. So that's why we're using the 28 gauge. I just happened to grab, I have both the gold and the silver here, but I happened to grab the gold right away. So we're going to use that one. So I am going to point you, I'm going to grab a bead for this one. I'm trying to decide what color should I use. Let's use purple. Let's see what we got for a purple bead. See, none of those stick out to me like I want to use it. No, we have not done the 10K. So while I'm up here, I'll pick out the bead. We're going to do 10K giveaway, which means everybody between TikTok and the Tube, you guys can put colors into the chat. And this is a 2-word color. 2-word color. So everybody put colors in the chat. I'm going to kind of watch here. And I did not refill the bead soup. I think I want this one. I will get it refilled sometime soon. And I will get yours filled up. All right, somebody here on TikTok got it. So hold on. Let me see who it is. Let's see. Ooh, 2 of you got it. First person was Maria and then Patty B. So Maria is the winner. Today is 8/10. So Maria, you have 5 creative credits. So congratulations for guessing hunter green. All right. I need to grab a container to put these in so I don't lose it. There we go. All right. I'm going to point y'all down so that you guys can see what we are doing here for this one. You're very welcome. Okay. There we go. All right. We picked out here a purple bead. It has AB on it. I am going to probably cut off about 4 to 5 inches of the 28 gauge wire. I will also need to pick out my chain here right away. Not that one. Here, we have a delicate gold one here. We're going to do this one. I want one. I'm going to try to find a head pin really quick to do this one because he is really thin. Here's a head pin. That's an eye pin. He'll work. All right. I'm going to cut him right there. There is no right or wrong for the length of doing this. It's what you want. Whoa, I shot that across the room. Okay. I'm going to cut all 4 pieces of my chain right away here so that they're all the same length. All I'm doing is put this on the head pin, going down and cutting the length below it. Hi.
Okay. I bedazzled my charger.
Oh. So she bedazzled her charger.
You have 5 people watching, that's crazy.
Hmm?
I said, yeah, 5 people watching, that's crazy.
Now it's down to 2.
Actually? Wow.
It's okay.
It was like, that's, yeah, 5 people, that's crazy. No, it's 2.
I'm shooting chain all over here, so you might want to take cover.
Read comments. Cute charger. Thanks. OMG, so cute. Thanks. How cute. Thanks. I'm really not that good at, oh my god, I'm so dumb.
What?
You know what it is?
I don't like you saying that.
Well, when I say it, you will understand. So I mixed some of my colors with each other. I was like, okay, I got this. I dumped all my colors in a bowl.
Oh my lord, kiddo, why?
I wanted to organize them.
They were already organized.
Yeah, but then I mixed colors into colors.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
And then the box I'm putting them in only has 14 spaces and there's 15 colors.
Yep. I was just going to say there's 15 in there. Ah! He didn't get cut all the way. Yes, he did. Okay.
I'm going to go
Now.
put another watermelon for myself this time.
Okay. No more chargers, though, because we only don't need to go through all of them. He's 1 extra long. This one needs 1 off. Okay. Okay, we got it now. I'm going to put away the chain out of the little area so I don't accidentally grab the wrong one. I just shot chain all over my bead room. Like it went over by my computer. It went all over. All right, first thing we're going to do, grab one of your beads, string the chain through, grab 1 piece of the chain, put it on there, and then grab this piece here, and we're going to go back over the top of the chain and through the bead. And you're going to pull that, not tight. We want to just, you can leave it like this for right now. we're going to grab on the longer piece on the other side, grab one piece of the chain and string it on. There we go. We're going to go back through the opposite way. We're going to go over the top of the chain and back through the bead. You're going to have your two ends coming, and we are going to pull on both of those until everything gets nice and snug and tight. I'm going to grab my pliers here to help us get that snug. That side snug up there. Let's grab the pliers and do it on this side. He's snug. And then all you have to do is cut off that excess wire. That one's off. Come in and cut this one off. And we have, I'm going to show you what that looks like. You can't even see, whoops, that's too close. There we go. You guys can't even see that it's all chain. Let's show you guys over here. You don't even see the loops. So if you want one that doesn't have the loops, do it that way. So once again, I was going to say, we put wood down in here so that we could sweep and not have to get it in the carpet or anything like that. Our old house, we had carpet in one of the rooms that I did jewelry in, and we learned our lesson after we went through multiple vacuum cleaners. All right, we have our bead, our chain, over the top of the bead and through, back through the bead. Just gonna pull that. Doesn't have to be tight, but you can just pull that. The longer one on this side, we're gonna put our chain on it. There we go. And we're going to go back through our bead the opposite way. We're going to get those kind of close together, and we're going to grab a hold of our pliers, and we're just going to pull that. And there we go. We got it again. So all we have to do now is cut off that excess wire. Either technique that I've shown you tonight works for these. There you are. Now we're going to grab two of the jump rings. There and there. We're going to grab two of the gold earring hooks. There we go. Get back in there. All right, we're going to open these up by opening your jump ring by going one towards you, one away with the two pliers. Chain on one side, chain on the other side, and one of the earring wires on the top. Close that up by going the opposite way you did to open it. Let me take these two off. We're going to show you. There's one done. Do the same thing on here. One towards you, one away. Chain. Then the other chain. Well, maybe here. And then this one. Close this up. There we go. Thank you. I didn't get to see who it was though. And there is our earrings. I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see it better. Well, hello, Miss Zuli. Thank you. And she's using the Carol gift. I'm like, They always look off when I'm looking at them, like the lengthwise, but I'm looking at this and I'm like, are they even? Like, these two things do not look even to me. I don't, no, it was me. Ha ha. Thank you. I love my 49ers. Yep, these are so simple to make. Those were easy. Ah, thank you, Patty. I've worn glasses since I was in 7th grade. And then when I turned 49, I got LASIK. Great number. And so I haven't had to have glasses for the last 3 years, except for every once in a while I have to get them out when I'm doing jewelry. But this is pair number 2. Now I want to show you something here when you use a larger bead. I want to try something with you guys. Do you see how we have a little bit of room in here? And I'm wondering if we would take a bead and put that in there. I don't think so. I don't know if I want to try that. I think it looks just great this way. I was thinking, what if we put one in the center here? But now that I'm looking at them, I don't think it will be wide enough up here for it to work. So we're just going to leave them like that. We're not going to make a different one. I was thinking about it, but then I looked at it. Thank you, Zuli. Yep, my community gift is like, it's something that TikTok makes for you when you hit certain levels. And so then you get the choice of 2, and that's the one I went with. So yeah. So when I had LASIK done, and part of why it's really hard to wear glasses is one's for here and one's for, this one's distance and this one is up close. Yay, we got 20K. And so you can't just go get readers off the shelf. I had one of these lenses is blank and the other one is to make it clearer for me. So it's the joys of having a different type of that done. But that is what we were doing today. So this is an example. Oh yeah, we could bend the wire too. And I didn't want to do that today. And I've done that before where it's been, so Gold Magic Box Studio over here said bend the wire to make it more of the teardrop. If you would like, you can take and move this into, well, not when you have like such a long bead, but you can have more wire and you can curve it up before you put it on there and it will give you the teardrop effect instead of the triangle effect. And that is true. And I've done earrings like that in the past. So yes. All right, we got to do our 20K giveaway, everybody. Let me grab this. Let me grab a color. Let's pick. This is a one-word color, everybody. One word. So go ahead, put one word in the color. Both TikTok and YouTube can do it. All right. Ashley is the one who got it first. Ashley, let me write this. So Ashley guessed the color over here on YouTube. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I'm going to today. You want me to do it to someone else? I'm having a drink of my Dr. Pepper cream soda. Okay. She says I can gift it to someone else. So I'm going to just randomly go like this. Whoops, hold on. Okay, Meg. I kept getting Maria, and she's already won. So Meg, you will get 5 creative credits. It was brown. The color was brown. So Meg is going to get this one. I just like, all I did is I went here and I kept touching somebody and it kept wanting to reply to Maria. Sorry, Maria. I was going to share the wealth. So that was, so brown was our color. All right, everybody. I'm just going to show you, this was the example number 1 that I showed earlier today. This is using a wider bead. So you can see what happens. Yep, sharing is caring. I love that. And if we all remember Chris from eons ago, he always said that. I was going to say, she's going to say you're welcome. Meg says thank you. I know she's going to say you're welcome. So you can make it look wider by using a longer bead. And what I mean by that is the length of the bead is longer. We did a smaller rondelle with the red beads and silver. And I also used longer chain that I did with that brown and gold combination. So you can give, to me, the silver sticks out with just a little punch of red in there. That was the other example. And then tonight we did, so you don't have to just, hold on. My thingy popped off. This is when I was having problems. I told you that's when I was like, this is the struggle bus. Let me show you in just a second. Let me get this one fixed. And it's all because sometimes I cannot see the best. So it's all about me. There we go. Got that open. We're going to go here. We're going to put that in. We're going to close it up. Now close up really good for me because I put my glasses away already. Yep, there we go. All right. Thank you everybody over in TikTok that has started to follow me. We do all kinds of fun things here. Tonight's a tutorial. There we go. We got this pair of earrings. We use the black wire or chain and earring wires. So there's that. So you don't have to stick with gold or silver. And then we went with the gold again. Ah! Okay. Thank you, Gold Magic Box. And then here we have a larger rondelle with that gold. So you can do whatever size chain you want. You guys can use whatever size beads you want. Just make sure with the beads that they're not so heavy that they are pulling on the ears. But you can do whatever you want with those. Change it up. Do what you want. All I ask is if you do it, can you post and then tag me in your post if you do this technique? Because I'd love to see what you guys do. We all create differently. Yep, you can use eye pins to do it. Julie, you got it. Yep, you can use an eye pin. I just stink at getting eye pins the same on both. But like last week, we went with that technique where we go and mark on our pliers. We put the eye pin in. I had an eye pin. Where did I move it to? I don't remember where I moved it to. You put the eye pin in, mark the part of your tool, take it off, and then mark the other side of your tool so that you can try to get the same size circle for your eye pins. That's just a little bit thing that I figured out. Nobody taught it to me. I just figured it out, but probably somebody else has done it too. And we got to 30K. So let's do one more color, everybody, tonight. Let's see, what color should we do? All right, go everybody. This is a one-word color. There it is. Two of you got it over here. Sweetheart Strings, you were first. And then Geraldine was second. So Sweetheart Strings, you will get it. The color was Sage. So congratulations. All right, everybody, I am going to hop off. I wanted to tell you before I go, though, tomorrow, 2 p.m., Makers Meetup on TikTok only. You can come and show us what you've been working on. Just come and chat. And then I will also be opening up another box as time permits. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we will have a debut event on TikTok where we will have different style of beads, components. We're going to have the first of the embroidery floss will be coming. We're going to have, so far I have 2 different return to the studios. One's a yellow glass and the other one is a purple 6mm polymer clay Heshi bead. We will also have those butterfly pendants that we had opened recently in the boxes. We're going to have those. Good night, Ashley. You too have a good night, Maria. We will also be having a wood bead, and we will have those necklaces that we found today in that box, those silver necklaces. We'll have those tomorrow too. So there'll be more. I'm getting them ready, and we'll have them all ready for you guys tomorrow night. So we will see you then, everyone. Have a good one. But 2 p.m. tomorrow for Makers Meetup. Bye.